Specialized Equipment for Medical Sonographers by Autumn Farrell. The medical field is harsh, especially for medical sonographers. The problem is that sonographers experience pain due to musculoskeletal disorders. These disorders are due to an accumulation of repeated exposure to physical risk factors. Repeating the same motions constantly as a medical sonographer results in a higher rate of pain and occupational injury than seen in other medical professionals. This repeated exposure to pain among medical sonographers needs to be looked at into further detail. A plan of action needs to be implemented, along with repeated exposure. Improper positions used during an ultrasound cause a higher risk of injury. These improper positions are important due to the number of injuries that they have caused to different parts of the body. There is a need for new posture chairs and transducer grips that beep when not being used in an ergonomic way. It should also be mandatory to use forearm supports. These will all be major factors in preventing musculoskeletal disorders. The first solution that has been tried to prevent musculoskeletal disorders is the use of forearm support. A study was shown that it was worth the extra cost for companies to provide forearm supports. While this solution did work, it would be better to have this equipment plus a chair that requires proper posture that beeps when not being used correctly. The beeping sound will not go away until the medical sonographer uses the equipment properly. The next solution that has been tried is practicing good ergonomics. Ergonomics can be defined as a goal-oriented science that seeks to reduce or eliminate injuries and disorders, increase productivity, and improve life quality. While using ergonomics is a great idea to reduce musculoskeletal disorders, there is not really a sense of urgency to use them until it is too late. Another solution that has been tried is exercising. Exercising regularly can reduce the risk of repeated lower back pain by 25 to 40%. Exercise is a simple solution that seems complicated. Although exercise seems like a great alternative, several people with lower back pain do not know about this solution because it has not been prescribed by doctors. In the case of medical sonographers, they do not have the time to exercise because in most cases, they are already being overworked and only get just enough sleep before their next shift. The final solution that has been tried to prevent musculoskeletal disorders is adjustable equipment. With the equipment being set up correctly and the medical sonographer maintaining good posture, the risk of musculoskeletal disorders reduces greatly. For this to work, sonographers had to be allowed time before each appointment to adjust their equipment. Adjustable equipment is a good way to reduce musculoskeletal disorders, although it is not implemented in any way or manner. The proposal that would work best to achieve this kind of safety consists of 5 main steps. First, a spokesperson for medical sonographers needs to be appointed within the company. This person will present a plan of action to top executives in the company. An engineer will then develop the innovative posture chairs and transducer grips that both beep when not being used in an ergonomic way. Next, the equipment will need to be tested and adjusted to remove any problems. Then, the newly developed products, along with forearm supports, will need to be implemented, monitored, and revised to make sure they function properly over an agreed time frame. The use of new equipment will be mandatory for medical sonographers. Finally, once the new equipment is approved for use, it will be made available for other companies to purchase. This whole process will take a few years. If the machine is not used properly, it will let you know by beeping sound. The beeping sound will continue until the medical sonographer is using the equipment in the right manner. The reason why this specialized equipment is needed for musculoskeletal disorders is because 90% of clinical sonographers experience symptoms. The pain comes quick for some medical sonographers, but with others, it takes years for signs of pain to develop. 72% of medical sonographers experience musculoskeletal disorders after 10 years of being employed in this occupation. 10 years may sound like a long time, but when you factor in the number of years the average adult works, it is short. The average adult works until the age of 62, which would be about 35 years of employment. This shows that after 10 years, some medical sonographers may quit working because of the pain. The age of 35 is very young to start experiencing pain that most people accumulate many years later in life. The medical sonographers that quit working make it harder on the ones that stay in the field because they would have to work longer hours. This solution can be made possible as long as the companies that employ medical sonographers realize that this proposal will benefit everyone. The plan that will address the changes that need to take place in order to reduce injuries in the workplace. A reduction in injuries will benefit the company due to cost savings that the company will experience. The cost savings come from medical sonographers being able to work more efficiently instead of being out of work being paid workers' compensation. Once the equipment works properly, it will be available for sale at other places of employment for medical sonographers. Every medical sonographer will have to get familiar with the new equipment, but it will be worth the extra headache. In summary, an innovative way in preventing musculoskeletal disorders would include the need of new posture chairs and transducer grips that both beep when not being used in an ergonomic way, and also implementing the mandatory use of forearm supports. Companies that employ medical sonographers need to realize the importance of medical sonographers in the medical field. The best way for these places to show sonographers that they are important is to implement ergonomically friendly equipment. This ergonomically friendly equipment should be registered to make a beeping noise when the sonographer is not using the equipment appropriately. The beeping noise will not only alert the sonographer, but may also annoy them in the moment as well. Sonographers will quickly realize the importance of their safety because they will not feel as much pain due to musculoskeletal disorders. This equipment is so important because it will reduce the number of sonographers that quit or take personal days due to pain from these disorders. The lifestyle of a medical sonographer will quickly change, and they will be forever thankful for this proposal.